Hello, everyone. This is Kevin, your entrepreneur. And for those of you who were hoping that the Uber and Waymo trial would finally get started next week, that we could finally get some real honest justice on board, and that maybe Uber would take a hit strong enough that it would teach them not to screw around. Well, we're not going to be getting that trial. It has been delayed. Who knows when? But interestingly, it had the exact same effect as if the trial had been on at all. Because according to an ex-Uber staffer who presented the judge a letter, Uber actually had a unit dedicated to stealing trade secrets. Not kidding. Um, According to the article Business Insider, a former Uber employee's description of spying on rivals and destroying evidence caused chaos in a San Francisco courtroom on Tuesday. Let's hear. The trial between Uber and Waymo, scheduled to begin next week, has been delayed by order of the judge, who scolded Uber for withholding evidence, according to media reports. The allegations of cloak and dagger tactics at Uber, the ride-hailing giant that has been accused of stealing trade secrets involving self-driving cars from Waymo, seems straight out of a spy novel, and the events in court added more uncertainty into a high-profile lawsuit between two of the tech industry's most powerful players. Judge William Alsup delayed the upcoming trial, originally scheduled for December 4th, saying that it would be a huge injustice to force Waymo to go to trial given the new evidence that surfaced in the case, according to Reuters and other accounts from the hearing. And a tweet by Mike Isaacs said, hello from 30,000 feet. Here's a sentence from a judge you never want to hear in court. Quote, I can no longer trust the words of the lawyers for Uber in this case, Judge Alsup said. If even half of what is in the letter is true, it would be an injustice for Waymo to go to trial. Unquote. Letters for Waymo read a letter apparently written by former Uber security staffer Richard Jacobs, which detailed an internal unit at the company focused on stealing trade secrets. Jacobs also testified in person on Tuesday, where he said that the surveillance team at Uber used an anonymous servers separate from Uber's main servers, according to Bloomberg. He described it as a system that actively deletes messages after a small delay so as to leave no trace. And as Greg Basinger tweeted, ex-Uber employee Rick Jacob details culture deeply rooted in secrecy, paranoia at Uber, disappearing messages, training to evade legal investigations, groups devoted to obtaining trade secrets. Now, I'm of course going to stop there. You can read the full article below if you want. And here's the thing. I believe 3 or 4 months ago, this letter would not have been a bombshell. I mean, it would have been disturbing, but it wouldn't have actually done anything. I think the judge would have said, well, it's a nice theory, but can you prove it? But the reason for it now is because we just had a data breach. We just had Uber admit that they covered up a huge, massive data breach, didn't tell anyone they were legally required to, and then paid the hackers off. People are feeling pretty bitter about that still. Even me, to be perfectly honest. They are feeling completely betrayed by that. And yeah, I think that was the last straw. That was the last straw, and Uber's not being given any more slack. So when an ex-engineer or an ex-employee, whatever he was, writes a letter and testifies and says, they stole, documents. They have a division set up specifically to steal information and trade secrets, and they're doing espionage stuff, and they're hiring ex-CIA people, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they're covering up evidence. I think the judge was like, you know what? I don't trust anything Uber says anymore. I just don't. I mean, they have never even presumed to be honest. They've never pretended to be honest. The only reason we're getting some sense of honesty now is because of the new CEO. I have to admit, I know I said he sucks. I'm starting to change my opinion on that just a little. Sorry about that sound, guys. But wow. I mean, that honesty came at a price. That honesty came at a price. I actually almost wonder if it was worth it for him to be honest about this. To be honest about this. I mean, especially since we're going on over the Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey scandals, where you have all these actors who have been accused of all these things, covering up, losing their jobs, losing dealerships, whatever. And then you have some accusations by Louis C.K., who decides to take full responsibility. And what happens? Yeah, pretty much the exact same thing. Completely loses all of his work and everything. Now, by the way, I'm not saying that to justify any of these men's actions or what they're doing. I'm just saying when you have kind of sensitive information, sensitive topics, and bad things being done, I don't know if it's always worth it to be honest. So, if anything, Dara's problem might have been that he was honest. I don't know. I wonder if we're gonna look back and actually wonder if that was where he made his big mistake. Maybe he just should never have said anything and just said, "Well, it happened, and we can't unhappen it, so let's just pretend it doesn't happen." But I think he was afraid that people were gonna find out that it happened, and that's why he said something. Well, now we're at this point. Heck, he's got millions of people who don't trust him, 2 states suing him, and now this trial, which I honestly was half expecting to be settled at this point. I am super surprised. The settlement just must be way too much for Uber to even consider, because I don't know why they're still fighting this. And that just, well, I don't know. That's, being honest, did not help anything. Didn't help anything. So I guess we're just going to see what happens now. The Waymo Uber trial is delayed till who knows when. And even if it were to restart, I don't know if anyone's going to necessarily believe anything they have to say anyway. So who knows? What do you folks think, though? Do you think there's even going to be a trial? Do you think this trial is effectively dead in the water? Do you think that if Google says give us 90% of your money, Uber will have no choice but to give them 90% of their money just to make this go away? Because they cannot, they can't possibly win it at this point, in my opinion. Or can they? Do you think they can win? I would love to know what your thoughts are. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And if you enjoy these videos, consider becoming a Patreon member for $1 a month. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.